note sound.
Yeah, play a black note. What does a black note sound like?
So it depends.
What does a black note sound like?
So it depends. Programming and stuff like that.
I want to hear the black note. What's the black note sound like?
So like if I'm in like if I'm in I always described it as
the
like,
black notes, the flats or the sharps?
Yeah, in like in the key of C, right? Where there's no black notes in the major scale.
Gotcha.
I literally could play all white notes and just, it'd be cool, But like what makes it is to me like it can get a little dark in a sense where it's just like that's what the soul is to me.
Right, yeah.
Like, the black notes, like
literally.
Alright, so in this video, Travis Sayles is trying to explain to people who don't really know anything about music what the black notes are, but I'm going to take a different approach in this one. As you know, I have to learn every song on my YouTube channel and figure out what the notes are and the chords are. What was the most difficult part about learning the part that he just played? What do you think was the most difficult part about that? Do you think it was trying to do the fingering, trying to get the fingering right for some of the notes? Do you think it was the ear part with me trying to figure out what notes he was playing? Do you think it was trying to work out some of the rhythmic idiosyncrasies and some of the timing of the notes and the feel? Or do you think it was just when to use, how to apply what he's playing into my playing? What do you think was the most difficult thing about learning this song? Go ahead and vote. Vote on the screen. Something should pop up there, and I want you to go ahead and pick one of those. All right, now let's look. I want you to look at all of these before I get into whether or not I was able to learn this song or not, because we haven't even said whether I was able to do it or not. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is the fingering. Yeah, no doubt the fingering would be a challenge here. Like, transcribing stuff like that and then having to play that back. That would be the challenge. And it's not so much playing it as it is obviously playing it at the same time he's playing it to make sure that it's accurate on the screen. But right now we're talking about fingering, and in other words, what fingering to use. If you look at this first one here, so he's starting on a. So let's say I start with the second finger here. Whether I start with the second finger here and make it a 2-3, a 2-1-2, 2-1-2-1, and go up like that. That's gonna be hard to pull off, right? That's gonna be hard to pull off. Now, say I do it with my thumb. Now I'm going 1, 2, 3, thumb, and now I'm gonna have my 2 on the B flat. It's gonna be difficult for me to pull it off at the speed. So definitely fingering was a challenge. The way that I mitigated that for this song was to simply have my thumb. See, instead of looking at it as a B flat, you know, kind of like a B flat pentatonic sounding kind of chord, I was using I started on the F. So I would just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Rinse and repeat all over again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you know. And then I just kind of did it that way. And then of course, remind myself that it starts in a B, so omit the thumb. So in reality, you know, practicing that maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 times and doing it over and over with him until I feel like it's accurate was a challenge of the fingering. But it definitely was not the most challenging section. I mean, if you look at the one after that, see, because you know on that, so because he's using the same style. So it's same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he goes to this. If you hear that. Now, the other thing is, now we're not talking about hearing it. We're talking about playing it. We're talking about what fingers to use. And I'm saying, of those 4 things that I mentioned, the fingering was not the most difficult part of transcribing this song. So let's cross that one off. All right, figuring out where to use something like this, that would not be difficult at all, because if you notice, there's a common movement that's going on here. Let's see if you can figure it out.
Like literally.
What's the pattern?
Like literally.
Same pattern over and over. You hear that? Here, where's my You hear the same pattern? And then da, da, da. It's the same pattern over and over again. Listen for it. He's keeping it so simple for people watching. Do it again. Okay, do it again. And Logic is messing up, but I don't really care. I'm gonna keep on going. So the point is that so how would you know when to use this? So let's say we're doing like a happy birthday song. At the end of the happy birthday, you know, at the end you go, and then you have that, right, that A flat chord into the B flat chord, and then you have your C, right? But he's, instead of doing just a straight A flat and a straight B flat and a straight C, he's riffing on it, and he's using an A flat, a major 7 sound, right, to a B flat major 7 sound, and then to a C major 7 sound, right, and then, right. So what he's doing now then is, hear it, you know, and then. Right? And then he's just riffing off the A flat, B flat, and C. Alright, so using that in context would be anytime you would have that movement. Right? So that's not a hard integration to pull off. You can use that at any time, but a lot of people like to use it at the end of a song. So we have 2 things left here. We've got the ear training, and we've got the rhythm and timing. Let's take another vote. Okay, which one of these things do you think was more difficult to pull off? Do you think it was more difficult for me to try to hear what was going on? That's a challenge for a lot of us because you want to play what other people can play, and you hear musicians on YouTube or in live settings, and you want to know what they're doing, and so that's the reason why a lot of people tune into my channel, because they're trying to figure out what are these guys doing. So that's your ear, right? And then you have the timing and rhythm. All right. So which one of those things do you think was a more the challenging aspect of recording this? Well, the answer, I'll give you the answer. The answer is the rhythm and feel. Was the most challenging part about the song. See, here's the thing that you have to remember. You can have the most basic chords. You don't need to have fancier chords than other people. And you don't need to have the best runs in the world. What you need is feel. What you need is a sense of the timing and the rhythm of things. And having a sense of the timing and the rhythm of things is what's going to make your playing stand out. It's something that I personally struggle with as I am trying to put these things, because every person has a different flavor, every person has a different rhythm, every person has a different feel for how they want to do it. And I want you to look and see, because I was able to finish this MIDI file for today, and I want you to see what I have here. Is there a way to okay? Now let's double click this here. You're looking at, these are all the notes that make up this song here. Now I want you to see something here. I want you to look at this phrase. Let's listen to it first. We're gonna start from 16:3, and let's go to 21. Now, beautiful, right? That is so beautiful, right? But you can get somebody to play it, and they're not going to sound like Travis. They're not going to have the insinuation of the notes there, right? So you want to sound like that, right? You don't just want to go. You don't want to say, where's my? That's muted. You just want to go. Right? Those are the notes. Why didn't it sound like Travis? Right? So I want you to notice something. Now, those of you who know about MIDI files, I'm going to assume that nobody really knows, because I like to make sure that in my teachings I'm being very clear. So in this particular program, blue notes, the more blue a note is, the softer the velocity is, so they won't hit as hard. Note that, and as they get higher in velocity, and then when they turn average, they turn around green, and then average sounding note of medium velocity or volume would be green, and then it'll turn red. Okay, so if I move this level up here, you see that? Watch what happens if I go over it and I play that. Let me adjust this down. It's there. So let's listen. I want you to hear what happens here. Stay with me. I'm making a point here. You saw what happened there? Now let me back that back up and go back to the original settings. Now, while this spinning wheel is going, I want you to see what happens. Notice the color changes. See, we're too focused on notes. We're too focused on what are the notes. Give me the notes. Give me the notes. You don't need notes. You look at the color changes here. See how they go to green? What did I say green was? And what I say blue was? Do you see an emphasis? So here the colors tell you there's a gradual increase in velocity and going back down. See if you can hear it. I'm talking about right here in this section right here.
Can you read music?
See, see each time he does it, you see how it gets softer there? I can't capture the notes if I'm not capturing the feel. It won't mean a difference. You see how it gets softer there? I can't capture the notes if I'm not capturing the feel. It won't mean a difference, right? And so it won't make a difference to how you actually sound if when you practice you're only concerned about the notes. And so what I want to emphasize is you have to get the feel and the rhythm of things and the technique just as much as you do notes. And we're talking about ear musicians, how you want to phrase a particular run to make it unique and make it your own. Spend just as much time with that as you do with finding out individual notes. Okay, and you will start to see a huge difference. Of course, I'm going to drop this file in so that those of you who want to purchase it can do that.
The progression of me learning each style always started as notes. And then I begin to ask myself questions as to, I'm playing the same note, why don't they feel the same? Then I begin to study attacks, releases, all of these things that create feel.
Right, yeah.
The black notes, you know, like literally. Can you read music? No,
That was
don't
beautiful.
read. You
What's
don't
your
read?
name? What's your name?
Travis.
Travis. Travis what?
Sayles.
Travis Sayles. That was good, Travis.